It is always a highly charged case from a political point of view. There are participants in that process. There's the prosecution, there's the defence, and also there are the victims. The victims' counsels will make their submissions in court. Their right to make these submissions must be respected. So I ask everybody to bear that in mind. All the supporters who have demonstrated this huge expression of love, they should also bear that in mind as well. Thank you very much.
Sir, have you filed any motion for the interim release of the former president?
Once again, interim release is a complex process. We're considering it and we'll file it at the appropriate time.
Plano bilang Pangulo ng ating bansa para pakiusapan mo sila na huwag nang ituloy yung impeachment dahil baka abala nga naman po sa trabaho ng ating gobyerno at syempre sa buhay at pamumuhay ng ating mga kababayan.
The Senate has no choice, the House has no choice. They have to do this now. Once the impeachment complaint was filed, tumakbo na ang proseso.
The ICC, and they wanted to catch me in the prison. Alam mo si Marcos.
Sinong hindi magugulat mga kasama sa boses? Halos parehas na parehas. Diba? Talagang walang pinagkaiba eh. Tuloy natin. Yes. Good morning mga kasama. Dito na naman tayo nagbabalik. At syempre, kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe sa ating channel, pa-subscribe na lang po at hit mo na rin yung bell para updated ka sa ating mga video. Isang like and share, isang share. Samahan mo ng subscribe. I-bell all nyo po ha. Eto na. Anak ng tipakulong. Ano sabi rito? BP Sara panalo. Abogado ni Lenny naniniwala kay BP Sara sa impeachment case? Nako. Kahit saang anggulo mo pagtitignan, talagang mananalo ang kampo ng mga Duterte. Dito, sa ipapakita. Bakit? Natatandaan niyo, meron akong papakita sa inyo pero isang ano lang to kasi usaping impeachment Usaping impeachment ito. Bakit si Tatay Digong, nung panahon niya, may gustong ipa-impeach si Lenny, si Madam Lenny, si BP Lenny, nasa diskresyon ng Pangulo Kung ayaw ng Pangulo, kaya mong gawa ng paraan. Pero, kung halimbawa kagustuhan mo rin, kaya mong manipulahin. Diba? Ipapakita ko yan sa dulo ng ating video mga kasama. Yan lang ang patunay na talagang ibang klase talaga. Yung kagustuhan nitong mga namumuno na ito sa ngayon. Pero siyempre, bago natin ipasok ang ating talakayan, i-like nyo yung video, i-share nyo yung video, at ito na. Ano ang usapin dito? Bakit panalo na? Ipasok mo ngayon.
Maging ang legal counsel ni dating Vice President Leni Robredo na si Attorney Romulo Macalintal ay nagsalita na patungkol sa impeachment case ni Vice President Sara na kapag inumpisahan daw ang impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara sa June 2, mababasura o mawawala na ang bisa ng impeachment case ni Vice President Sara dahil wala nang ang panahon na ang present Senate na matapos pa ang impeachment trial hanggang June 30 dahil maliwanag mismo sa Rule 44 ng Senate Rule mismo na kapag ang Kongreso ay na-terminate o natapos sa panahong ito ay hindi na maaaring i-take up pa o yung mga nakabinbin na mga bagay-bagay na tinitake up ng present Senate ay hindi na nila pwedeng buhayin doon sa bagong Senate. Maliban na lamang kung ang bagong Senate ay bubuhayin nila muli ito. Pero kung ito ay bubuhayin nila, i-consider nila ito as if they were presented for the very first time. At kung tatanggapin ito ng bagong Senate, ang mangyayari nito ay panibagong impeachment case na naman na siyang ipafile sa bagong Senado. Pero hindi nga pwede iyon. Kapag may bagong impeachment case na naman, bawal ito. Ayon sa saligang batas, hindi pa pwedeng magkaroon ng dalawang impeachment case sa loob ng isang taon. Kaya't malinaw Kaya't nagmamadali ang mga buwayang kongresista na madaliin ang mga senador upang maumpisahan na ang impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara ay dahil pala mababasura lamang ang pinaghirapan ng mga buwayang kongresista na ang kanilang gawa-gawang impeachment case kay Vice President Sara. Maging ang Commission on Audit nga mismo ay nagsalita na rin na talaga namang walang korupsyon under Vice President Sara at Office of the Vice President. Ang daming impeachable offense na na-uncover mga kalaban ni Vice President Sara sa Congress because they desperately needs to get rid of her. Kasi nga, she's the biggest stumbling block for them and their agenda, but COA did not find anything irregular. Kita nyo naman, unmodified opinion pa nga. Kahit nga mismo COA na ang nagsasabi, ang pondo ng Office of the Vice President ay nagagamit sa tamang paraan. Legal counsel na mismo ni dating Vice President Leni Robredo ang nagsalita at nagsasabi mababasura lamang ang impeachment case ni Vice President Sara. Narito ang
salamat po sa balita na yan. Talagang yan naman talaga ang mangyayari kasi lahat naman ng mga patutsada nila sa ating BP Presidente o si Vice President BP Sara, puro pamumulitika. Walang sustansya. Ikaw ba naman sa Kamara, pagtulong-tulungan ka ng mga dorobo, isipin nyo, isang tao ang pinaghahanapan nila ng confidential fund. Confidential nga eh. Diba? Napatunayan na rin yan ng Ombudsman Martires. Kaya nga confidential eh. Bakit hinahanap nyo yung mga karakter? Diba? Sino si Piato? Sino si Humpty Dumpty? Sino si Margarita? Sino si... Nak ng tipaklo nga kayo. Kung kayo ho ay gagawa ng confidential, hindi kayo maglalagay ng mga pangalan, ng totoong pangalan, at saka hindi nyo kailangan halungkatin ang confidential ng isang tao. Maliwanag pa sa tubig, mineral water. Yan ang sinasabi natin. Maliwanag sa maliwanag na iyan ay politika. Politika na gusto lang pabagsakin si BP Sara at si Tatay Digong. Kahit sa anggol nyo papuntahin, ang mga Duterte, ang pangalan na sinisigaw ng Duterte, yung mga tao, sumisigla. Dahil gustong-gusto nila ang mga Duterte. Ito ho, anong nabalitaan natin nung panahon 2016, nung nabalitaan natin na tatakbo ang mga Duterte, grabe ho ang saya ng buong Pilipinas. Kasi kamay na bakal eh. Nababalitaan lang namin noon pag sinabi mong Davao, wow, ibang klase yung lugar na yan. May disiplina, malinis, takot ang tao, takot ang pulis, takot ang sundalo, takot ang lahat na gumawa ng hindi maganda. Pero kung mabuti kang tao at wala kang nilalamang tao, okay lang. Diba? Hindi mo kailangang matakot. Iyaan, pag narinig mo, Davao, wow, Davao. Maski foreigner. Sipin nyo, maski foreigner, pumunta ng Davao, ano yung first impression sa Davao? Di ba? Sabi nila, kahit saan ka maglakad, mayroon kang peaceful, safety ka. Wala kang katatakutan. Totoo naman. Ito pa, isa pang system. Ngayon, yung Davao, dinidevelop, tinatanggal na ho yung mga wire. Underground na ho yung kable. Sinisimulan na ho. Marami na ho sa part ng Davao na wala na mga kable. Di ba? Sino na gano'n yan? Duterte. Ganyan ang gusto ng Pangulong Duterte. Kaso kulang lang ang termino niya. Kung parehas lang tayo sa Singapore, hindi nawawala ang namumuno. Sayang nga no? Kung si Tatay Digong ay noon pa sana tumakbo, sana in 10 years time, 12 years, 6 years. Tapos sumunod si BP Sara, sumunod si Baste, sumunod si Pulong. Maganda ang Pilipinas. Ito sasabihin ko sa inyo, hindi ito sa pag-ano. Pag ang Davao, Mindanao, Bisaya ang dinevelop ng gusto, ang Luzon, wala na. Maniwala kayo sa akin sa ganda ng Mindanao. Sa ganda ho ng Mindanao at mga Bisaya. Pag yan ang ginawa na sentro, ang piliang Manila, huwag ho kayo magagalit, pero yan ang katotohanan. Maraming lote pa. Maraming mga malalaking malalawak na lote sa Mindanao na kayang i-develop. Kaya pa. Ibig sabihin, magagawa ng paraan kung gugustuhin. Magiging ala Amerika. Alam mo yun, kasi ang problema dito, ito lang baka magalit yung ibang nagmamagaling at nagmamagaling talaga. Ang problema ho sa Pilipinas, once na magkaroon ng isang kupitan, ang kupitan, halimbawa may nakita siyang bakanting lote, oo, kukuha yan ng maraming butante, o doon kayo, pansamantagal, diyan kayo, magtayo ka ng barong-barong. Na-squat na ho yung lote. Kawawa naman yung may-ari ng lote. O sabihin natin sa gobyerno, sa ibang bansa ho, hindi ho pwede yan. Bawal na bawal yan. O, kaya naging ganito ang itsura ng Pilipinas dahil sa mga ganyang bagay. Sa mga leader na hindi mo alam kung ano yung nasa utak. O, pero alisin na natin yun. Mindanao, pag na-develop ng gusto, wow, ang ganda. Talagang ang ganda. Sobra. Ang lalawak pa ng mga lupain dyan na kayang i-develop. O, ayusin. O, yung sukat ng mga bahay, sukat ng mga lote, dapat standard lang. Naka-accurate. Dito, salabat na eh. Oo. Sa nakikita natin dyan sa Maynila, talagang wala na. Oo. Kung pwede nga lang doon na tayo sa Mindanao lahat eh. Diba? Tsaka sariwa pa yung, diba? Eto. Diretso natin to.
Kanyang full video, panoorin natin.
Well, kapag ang impeachment case ni Sara Duterte ay sinimulang dinggin sa June 2, katulad na sinasabi ni Senator Chis Escudero, ay na ang nasabing impeachment case na yan. Kasi wala ng panahon ang present Senate na ito ay matapos hanggang June 30. Kasi maliwanag sa Rule 44 ng Senate Rules mismo na kapag ang Kongreso ay nag-terminate o natapos ang kanilang Congress sa panahong ito, hindi na po pwedeng i-take up yung previous matters and proceedings. Ibig sabihin, yung nakabimbin ng mga kaso, mga nakabimbin ng mga bagay na dapat na tinitake up ng present Senate, hindi na pwedeng buhayin doon sa bagong Senate. Maliban na lamang kung yung bagong Senate ay bubuhayin nila muli ito. Pero kung ito'y bubuhayin nila, i-consider yan na as if they were presented for the first time. Na sa kasong ito ng impeachment ni Ms. Sara Duterte, kung ito ay tatanggapin ng new Senate, mangyayari niyan na parang bagong impeachment case ito na ipinapile sa bagong Senado. Na siyempre, nasasabihin naman ni Ms. Sara, hindi na po pwede yan. Sapagkat kung may bagong impeachment case, sakop ito ng tinatawag na pagbabawal sa ating saligang batas na hindi pwedeng magkaroon ng dalawang impeachment case sa loob ng isang taon.
Kaya pala...
diba? Ganun lang kasimple. So, kung pipilitin nyo sa June 2, yung sustansya, at saka wala naman sustansya talaga. Oo, saka wala na hindi na humananalo yung binagoongan. May makakapasok dyan 2 piraso. Oo, kasi solid na PDP 10. 2 pirasong binagoongan. Baka mamaya hindi pa manalo yung binagoongan. Baka manalo pa yung mga independent eh. Diba? Diba? Sa totoo lang tayo survey. Maniniwala ba kayo may makakapasok na binagoongan na higit sa 3, higit sa 4, higit sa 5? Sagutin nyo dyan sa comment section mga kasama. Para naman, meron tayong tinitignan, binabasihan kung talagang nakakasunod kayo sa video natin. Eto pa. On point, Duterte lead lawyer Nicolas Kaufman asserts strong jurisdictional defense. Kita nyo na. Yan ang magandang balita. Dito tayo ngayon. Parang nakikitaan natin itong bilyonaryong channel na totoo at hindi nagiging bias. Ito yung mga gusto natin alam nyo, pag kayo ay magbabalita, doon lang sa mga bias. Pasensya na kayo Kasi nakitaan na kayo ng hindi maganda, hanggang dulo na ho yan. Hindi na ho mababago, lalong-lalo na mga Duterte, yung ginagawa nyo ng fake news. Hindi na ho kayo mapapaniwalaan. Buti pa, manood kayo ng SMNI, Net25, parang gusto ko idagdag to, pero pagbabasihan muna natin, lalaruin lang muna natin. Tingnan natin kung ano yung balita dito ng Bilyonaryo Channel. Pero kung halimbawa, makitaan natin talaga, pwede natin i-recommenda. Basta maganda lang, walang yung... Pero nakakitaan ko naman sila, lalo na minsan, ayos to magbalita, hindi bias. Pero siyempre, ano muna natin, titimbangin muna natin. Pasok mo ate, ano bang meron dyan?
I'm standing here outside of the ICC detention facility, and it's more quiet today. But there's still a lot of people from other parts of the world that came here to visit and show their support for former President Duterte. Right behind me is a group of Filipinos that drove from Belgium just to be here. At nag-absent daw sila from work today because it's a Monday here. Pero nandito sila para pakita daw yung suporta nila para kay former President Duterte. Can you tell me, bakit nandito kayo kahit tapos na ang birthday ni former President Duterte?
Para maipakita lang namin yung support, even a small way, because we know that what he did in our country was very rare from the previous one. So, na-feel namin na at least kahit sa ganitong maliit na paraan, maipakita namin yung suporta. To show support.
And kung mahaba ba itong trial, babalik pa kayo dito?
Hopefully, pagka babalik kami to show support hanggang sa kung ano man ang kalabasan nito.
Ano po ang message nyo para sa mga Pilipino na nasa Philippines?
Message?
Nagkakahiyaan pa sila dito, Pinky. Okay, ikaw na lang.
Ang message lang is dasal, and kung ano man yung pinagdaraan ng Tatay Digong ngayon, maybe part yan na nasa taas, siya lang nakakaalam, kumbaga support lang at panalangin. And para sa mga Pilipino, kalma lang, kumbaga hayaan natin yung hustisya kung ano man yung ano dito.
So nung sinabi ni Vice President Sara Duterte na nagbibilin daw si PRRD na wag mag-intervene doon sa ICC case, ano ang reaction nyo doon?
So yan, nasira salamat sa ating mga kababayan Pilipino na nasa Belgium.
Attorney Karen.
From Belgium, pumunta sila ng The Hague para sumuporta kay Tatay Digong. At ito, nasira yung rin na video advance na natin
Belgium to be here today. And ang sabi nga nila, yung sa sinabi ni FPRRD na don't intervene in the ICC case, ang reaction nila to that is yun nga na that means pataan natin yung wheels of justice to function and to turn. And Pinky, ngayon, we are seeing Attorney Nicholas Kaufman, the lead counsel of former President Duterte, walking towards here in the ICC detention facility. We'll see if kaya natin siya makuhaan ng statement, but right now, we are seeing him walking towards here.
All right, so in the meantime, we'd like to thank you, Attorney Karen. I hope baka mapapadaan ba dyan si Attorney Kaufman?
Yes, I'm seeing him right now.
Okay.
I don't know if you can, if our cameraman can pan this.
Pan sa kanan.
Ayan. Yes. He's somewhere. Ayan, yung naka-black siya na suit. We'll try to get a statement from him, Pinky. Ayan. Ito. Let's try to get
so go ahead now, Attorney Karen. So while Attorney Karen is trying to get Attorney Kaufman to be able to speak to him, he is walking right now. Let's see.
Ayan, there. There's here. Attorney Nicholas, just to get an update, do you already have the legal team formed? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's here. Attorney Kaufman, have you formed your legal team? Oh, yes, wonderful. Yeah. 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 Oh, here with attorney.
Yes, okay.
So, okay, sure.
All right, so.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so I want to start off first, if I could, by telling you that the president, or the former president, was made aware of the huge demonstration of support and love on his 80th birthday. I know that it touched him deeply, and he thanks all his supporters for that. I also want to say something regarding the supporters. Obviously, it's always welcome that there are supporters, but politics to one side and the judicial process to another side. And the family want me to convey a message that the judicial process must be respected. There must be absolutely no interference with the independence of the court, with the judges, and for all the parties. Every case at the International Criminal Court is always a highly charged case from a political point of view. There are participants in that process. There's the prosecution, there's the defense, and also there are the victims. The victims' counsels will make their submissions in court. Their right to make these submissions must be respected. So I ask everybody to bear that in mind. All the supporters who have demonstrated this huge expression of love, they should also bear that in mind as well. Thank you very much.
Sir, have you filed any motion for the interim release of the former president?
Once again, interim release is a complex process. We're considering it and we'll file it at the appropriate time.
Have you? You're not yet filing. Have you filed or not yet?
I'm not telling you when I'm going to file anything.
How about, sir, you were mentioning in one interview that you have at least a compelling argument with regard to junking of the case in terms of jurisdiction. Can you just give us a little bit about it?
Well, I wouldn't use the word junking the case. Junking the case is slang. What I would say is that the jurisdictional arguments are arguments which have been bandied about for many years now. They've been considered by the Supreme Court in the Philippines. They've even been considered by the International Criminal Court. These are still valid, live arguments, and they will be argued in court at the right time.
Mm-hmm. Attorney Kaufman, have you completely formed the defense team for former President Duterte? Is it a complete team now?
Yes, we're putting the final touches to it.
Okay.
How many are still...
Are you waiting for another lawyer to be added? We heard that there's still one more slot.
Once again, I'm putting the final touches to the defense team.
Okay, so the final touches.
Mr. Kaufman, from an ethical point of view, because the former President Duterte publicly made a statement about relating the killing of the Jews to his war on drugs. Can you comment on that?
I'm not going to comment on that. People say things all the time. It's not my position to debate it. I have a job to do. I'm going to defend the former president to the best of my ability.
Attorney Kaufman, is there any chance for former President Duterte to have his case dismissed on a jurisdictional issue before the confirmation hearing in September?
To hear that argument. Obviously, I would like to heard first of all. I believe there are compelling arguments and I will seek to persuade the judges, but the people who decide at the end of the day are the judges themselves. It's not my job to presume anything here. I believe that there is a strong argument for the lack of ability to exercise jurisdiction given the Philippines' withdrawal from the Rome Statute. I hope that the judges will accept my submission. They might decide, obviously, that they don't want to hear it at the earlier stages. They might want to combine it with the confirmation hearing itself. I hope that will not happen, but once again, it's not my position now to presume anything. I just make my submission and the judges will decide.
Yeah, Attorney Kaufman, you received documentary evidences submitted by the prosecutor's office. Are there expunable evidences that you think?
The disclosure process is confidential, and I'm not going to disclose anything about it.
Sir, sorry to reiterate the question again. How can you say that you can argue with regard to the jurisdiction?
I think I've given my answer to it already, fairly comprehensively.
And you've talked with the family of former President Rodrigo Duterte, and including the visits. Are you also assisting with the visits of different family members?
As I said, it's the job of any counsel at the International Criminal Court not just to handle the legal side of things, but also the humanitarian side of things, and it's a right to receive visits from immediate family members.
And there are also issues about getting some funds from the ICC. Are you privy on that?
I'm not going to comment on anything to do with funding.
Attorney Kaufman, in the lighter side, I just want to ask, how are you?
Well, thank you very much. Maybe you've got information that I had an operation just before I came here.
Oh, you had an operation? Did you have a health issue?
No, I had a hernia fix.
Oh, okay. Have you been getting enough sleep? It must be very busy preparing for this case.
Well, if you know me well, I never sleep.
Oh, okay. But you've handled other ICC cases. What is your estimate as to how long this will take?
I can't estimate, really. I really can't. All I can do is say that we will make the submissions, and I hope that those submissions will be accepted by the judges.
But what's the difference between handling this particular case and other cases that you've handled in the past?
Well, all cases are highly charged, as I said. Handling a case at the ICC is a challenge. It's always a challenge. Quite frankly, I don't differentiate between my various clients.
With a show of this much Filipinos coming from all over the world here at the ICC detention facility, compared to the other cases you've handled in the past, is this the first time you've seen a turnout like this?
Please don't be offended, but no, not really.
Oh, really? Have you seen this in other cases?
This has happened in other cases as well. When a case gets to a critical stage, then there is always a huge demonstration of support from people of the country concerned, and that's happened quite frequently in this court.
Can you give
There was numerous African cases where supporters have turned out to support their various, how can I put it, suspects who are detained in this building here.
Does that have any impact, negative or otherwise, on the proceedings?
Well, it can have a negative impact on the proceedings if, as I said, the media or the supporters turn against the judicial process, and the judicial process must be respected. As I've said, this issue is the subject of intense debate in the Philippines, but let's just put the politics on one side and the judicial process on the other side.
Attorney Kaufman, you mentioned that you worked with or you knew prosecutor Karim Khan. Can you comment on that? Did you really work with him in some cases?
Well, put it this way, I've never worked with Karim Khan on a case together. I know Karim Khan for many years. He has a similar background to the background that I have. We've been working in international criminal tribunals for many years. I was a former prosecutor, so was he. So we've both worked on both sides of the tennis court, if I can put it that way. My familiarity with Karim Khan goes back many years. I respect him. I hope that he will be fair. I have no reason to doubt that he will be extremely fair in this process. And as I said, I look forward to working opposite him in the courtroom.
Attorney Kaufman, you're one of the few people who have seen former President Duterte. You get to visit him. How is he, health-wise and, physically and emotionally?
Well, as I said, he's in good spirits, and I will keep on saying that because he is in good spirits. Obviously, he's 80 years old, and with all the accompanying medical issues that accompany someone who's 80 years old, and it's not easy to get adjusted to the life in UN detention or ICC detention. So those are the only challenges that he's facing at the moment.
Okay. All right, Attorney Karen.
That he is requesting from you?
Everything that I've said regarding the need to respect the judicial process is something that I know that he endorses fully. Okay, thank you very much. I've got to go in now.
Thank you.
Yan So may good news ha. May good news na naman tayo. Kapapasok lang ito, 6 na oras ang nakalipas. Oras ng The Hague, Netherlands. So eto ipasok natin. Anak ng tipaklong, akalain natin si Tatay Digong nag-teleport from The Hague to Davao. Sa bahay niya mismo. Andoon. Ha? Baka magulat kayo. Baka sabihin nyo, niloloko kayo, ha? Kaboses na kaboses ni Tatay Digong ang maririnig nyo dito. Panoorin nyo ito para baka magtaka kayo. Nakala ko si Tatay Digong eh. Nung narinig ko, si Tatay Digong nasa Davao na. Anak ng Tokwa. Gusto ko nga pumunta kagad eh. Nung hindi ko pa nakikita yung si Tatay Digong, ando na, pupunta ako. Eto, pakinggan nyo.
Ang mga kababayan ko, maraming salamat sa inyo. Alam niyo yan? Ano ba ito? Karon, we was the ICC and they wanted to catch me in the prison. Alam mo si Marcos.
Sinong hindi magugulat mga kasama sa boses? Halos parehas na parehas. Diba? Talagang walang pinagkaiba eh. Tuloy natin.
Wala kayo. They are the provoke of the government. Utang na kayo. Alam ninyo, mga Pilipino, alam mo minsan, buhay isang parang lang. Alam mo, ito si Marcos, si Lisa, alam niyo yan? They going to run as the mayor, they going to run as the president, putang ina. Yung mga putang ina ninyo, alam niyo, you're from the government, nagtakbo kayong presidente para sa bayan nito, putang ina. Ngayon, mga tao ngayon, gusto nila na yung Pilipino, sinabihan si Day, magtakbo ikaw mayor, presidente, mayors, that's why. Maraming salamat. So yung mga supporter ko, maraming salamat sa inyo. Alam niyo yan, tumakbo ang presidente, ngayon ako, maraming salamat. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Maraming salamat. Dito si...
Mga kasama ha. Kala ko talaga si Tatay Digong na yung narinig ko. Pwede siguro natin thumbnailan to na si Tatay Digong ay nasa Davao na. Oo. Baka sabihin, Kuya Goods, fake news ka. Hindi ho ako fake news. Kasi nung unang narinig ko, akala ko si Tatay Digong. Kahit naman kayo, siguro, no, kung maririnig nyo at walang muka, boses lang, akalain nyo na si Tatay Digong ay nakauwi na nga. Diba? Ito na sinasabi natin. Usaping impeachment, kagaya na sinabi natin sa unang intro natin. Kung diskresyon ang namumuno ngayon, kaya mong gawin yan. Bakit hindi mo ginawa? Bakit hindi mo ginawa noon? Ito, ipasok natin to. Para malinaw sa malinaw, ha? Ipasok natin to. Asa na ba yun? Ito ha.
Kayo po, wala po ba kayong plano bilang Pangulo ng ating bansa para pakiusapan mo sila na huwag nang ituloy yung impeachment dahil baka abala nga naman po sa trabaho ng ating gobyerno at syempre sa buhay at pamumuhay ng ating mga kababayan?
The Senate has no choice. The House has no choice. They have to do this now. Once the impeachment complaint was filed, tumakbo na ang proseso.
Sir, may nagsampa na po ng impeachment complaint against Vice President Leni Robredo.
I won't allow.
Do you think, sir, may basehan po para ma-impeach nga po siya? What are your thoughts po?
Look, we just had an election. Guys, lay off. Let's stop it. Can do other things, but do not tinker with the structure of government. I will not countenance it. Elected yung tao. So, why do you have to sit just because he keeps on harping on me? Yeah, this is democracy. It's freedom of speech. Wala naman, there is no overt acts committed. Kakatapos lang ng eleksyon, huwag mo sirayan bayan.
Pwede naman pala. Ang problema, bakit? Bakit? Hanggang sa muli mga kasama ha. Lagi lang kayo antabay sa ating mga daily vlogs. At like, share nyo yung video ha. Yun lang ang pakiusap natin para makarating ito doon sa mga kababayan natin na hindi pa alam kung ano yung sitwasyon. Hanggang sa muli, bye-bye!